Mike's Daily Podcast.
Here we are, episode 2075. Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway in
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Podcastro Valley. It's the Podcastro Valley place where I live. That's awesome. Yes, it's in the East Bay. And I can't say what to do, but the Supreme Court restricts independence of CFPB, but doesn't kill it. What? I don't know what I just said, but I just spelled it. The SELA Law versus Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Oh, versus, which determined that the structure of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau,
Mike's
with a single
Daily
director that could
Podcast
only be removed from office for cause, violates the separation of powers. Okay. Hi, I represent every American on the planet that's just, okay, with that kind of thing. Let me tell you, I've spent quite a bit of time in the past day or two. I had a complete day off yesterday. Complete. In fact, I didn't even do a podcast, you probably noticed. And I loved it, but in the process, I also gave myself a roaring television headache. Back when I was a kid and we would watch Saturday morning cartoons, we'd spend all morning from like 6 in the morning till noon, maybe 1 o'clock, just watching TV. And we would get this terrible, terrible headache. Yes, first world problems, I know. But still, a horrible headache from watching too much TV. And that's what I got right now. I watch too much. And the culprit is this show called Defunct Land that's on YouTube. And the guy also does the thing called Defunct TV. He's got a lot of people helping him, but it's just so amazing to watch. And
here's today's podcast picture.
Now, I'm going to try a little bit of recording right now with my Mike's Daily Podcast. Oh, I should really turn the cat around. Turn the cat around. There he is. Mike's Daily Podcast is where I am. Cafe Anyway. The podcast picture is not of me in the Mike's Daily Podcast lair. No, it is of my lovely lady friend is up in the Shasta area right now. And she is seeing some amazing, beautiful sights, natural sights. Basil and I are not with her. I know, he's so mad about that. Actually, he's sleeping. This was previously recorded. And just loving it. She's loving it up there. She just took a picture and sent this to me a couple hours ago from McCloud Falls. We tried to find McCloud Falls when we were up there in February, but we couldn't find them. So somehow she found them today. Good for her. And you can see the picture of McCloud Falls at mikesdailypodcast.com. I don't like this camera angle. Hold on. I'm adjusting my camera angle. That's a little bit better. Yes, so see that picture of mikesdailypodcast.com. Check the cat. All right. And you may or may not see this, what I'm doing right now, in a video clip from today's episode 2075. But that's how we're multimedia-ing it up now. And so I was watching this wonderful, it's called Defunct Land, and he talks mostly about rides that are no longer in existence, amusement parks, places, entertainment sort of venues that are gone. And it's fascinating. He gets like amazing footage, and I think he basically pulls it from a lot of other YouTube channels, but he has scoured and searched and done his research, and he has some help, and it's good. I'm hooked on it. And then, of course, the wonderful world of YouTube, where you don't really have that many commercials, and this guy doesn't put a lot of commercials in his things, so I love it. And I'm watching this thing he did about Jim Henson. Let me say to you right now, if you are the creative type, if you're an artistic type, and if you get down on yourself now and then, because all creative people do. What am I making? Is this good? This compared to, and then like, let's see, this show. All right, I'm doing this podcast now. If I go ahead and compare it to one of the ones that's mega popular, that's got more than one listener, unlike this show, which has just one listener, I can get a little bit down on myself. But Jim Henson would get down on himself. He'd make something like The Dark Crystal, and people would go, "Oh, this movie is no good," or whatever, and it would hurt him. It's a lot of work you put into a movie, especially a movie like that. And he'd move on. He'd go into other projects. Oh, the one thing I really like about Jim Henson, of course, he's no longer with us. And that whole story, I'm getting to that part of the story now as I'm watching. Because what Defunctland did, or Defunct TV did, was they made several episodes really diving into Jim Henson's life. But this, he would take, if he had something, let's say that was a failed idea, and yet he would create all this stuff for this thing that ended up failing, he wouldn't just go, never going to go use that again. He would harvest that and take that and maybe put it into something else. Like maybe Gonzo wouldn't work here, but he'd work on the Muppet Show. And the thing with, the Muppet Show, as a matter of fact, everybody told him in America, it's not going to work. No one will do this show. A guy in England put the money into it, loved Jim Henson, believed in him, and they were off. England, well, okay, they did a couple episodes that didn't quite take off, and the pacing wasn't right. They did a couple of tweaks. And by the third episode, they had the Muppet Show that we know and love. And then they would do further tweaks, and they'd take some sketches out. Like they used to always have a bunch of characters sitting around. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley today. They would do the thing with the multiple characters talking with the star. They would always have some movie star, some celebrity on, a musician, someone. And they would do this sort of a talk, like a McLaughlin group, like a talk behind a desk, talking heads, kind of news desk sort of thing. And that didn't work. After a while, they just dropped that. But they'd bring in something that did work, like Pigs in Space. Was that one of them? Or the Professor, Honeydew, and like Swedish Chef. They had used him in other things, and none of that stuff took off, but they put him in this, and it worked. So sometimes you should, as a creative person, what may not work here will work there. And I know that's true when I was working in the country music world, in country radio, and I talked to a lot of songwriters. They'd come out with a song, and it wouldn't be a hit, but they'd rewrite the song, maybe take elements from it and make it into a new song, and that would become a hit. So you never know. Don't give up, in other words. Don't give up on things that you create. Don't give up on things that, it could, next time around could work. I'm realizing now in the podcast picture I used last time that somebody's bottle of, looks like, sparkling water somehow got into that picture. I did not mean to advertise sparkling water in a podcast picture. I don't get any money from that. So, stupid sparkling water. See that picture at mikesdailypodcast.com. And that's pretty much that part of the show. Just telling you people out there that get down on yourself. Jim Henson got down on himself, and what an amazing creative guy. If he had given up on stuff along the dreams, along the way, the dreams that he had, we wouldn't have all the things. He said, though, one of the things I learned about him is that he was after a while, he had a mission, and a dream with a mission is a something. What was that Rush song? Anyway, a dream with a mission is a something. with a vision. Anyway, from the mouths of Rush, the band, the rock. Oh yeah, here we go. Mission, that's right. Hold your fire, keep it till a spirit with a vision is a dream with a mission. That's what it was. Okay. That was from the song Mission. There you go. So, a spirit with a vision is a dream with a mission. Anywho, a lot of Jim Henson's dreams had a mission behind it. I think that's what led to him. And one of the mission seemed to be, what it seemed to be was to make people smile. So, it gets mentioned in the first Muppet movie, which was probably the most successful one. Fascinating to me. Okay, so don't give up. Hang in there. And that's pretty much my words to you today. Outside a cafe anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. Look who's here. Oh, and I got to do another podcast in less than 12 hours. So if this one wasn't very good, I'm not going to give up on it because the next one will be great, maybe. Who knows? Look who's here. Hello, Michael Master. It's Madame Rootabega and I love the Muppets. Oh, that's good. Muppet. You kind of sound like a Muppet, but you're not. No, Michael Master. But I did do a drawing of you. Did you like it? Yes. Have you gone on Mike's Daily Podcast to see it? It's in the photo gallery section. A picture of you. Have you seen it? Yes. Do you want me to give your hair a different color? No. Because I could. I can make your hair pink if you want. That's okay. Look who else is here. Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant. And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that? Mike, I hear that there's all kinds of changes happening at your work there. Yeah, at your work. Do you know that? Yes. Someone's leaving. Someone's joining us. It's change, my friend. Change. Change is in the air. Wish me luck. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the engineer. If you'd like to chime in about any of the things we covered today, you can call me 336MM Daily. 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews. Daily as in what this podcast will try to do again. Get back into that. Cirque du Soleil files for bankruptcy. That's crazy. Well, the last one I mean, what are you going to do with all those people that are super fit that can walk on their fingers? This is terrible. I don't know. I don't have time to go into that story. I gotta go. Nearly 3,500 jobs got cut by Cirque du Soleil. Aw, okay. See, but they shouldn't give up. They shouldn't give up on their dreams. Aw, I feel bad for them though. Okay, I didn't mean to leave on a bad note, on a sad note. I guess I just did. Dang it. All right, well, bring in the clowns. There's got to be clowns. Maybe next year. Take it away, Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!